town. Gotta compose myself. Yeah. Let's do it. Go. Detroit City, Black Bottom, BBS in the building. Yeah. Bottom up, bottom line. Left hand bandit. Coming soon. Stay tuned. Check it out. Unchained, Django on a mission. Not to mention I'm pretty crispy like a Christian. Islamic level discipline. I ain't saying niggas lying. 99% of y'all guilty by admission. Listen, I'm here now, it's a done deed. Don't believe this Detroit shit? Come see. Get that ass zipped up like a onesie. You animal, I'm Crocodile Dundee. Nigga, new elephant in the room. Chillin' since parole, don't make the bullshit resume. I'll get some bands together, come play your ass a tune. Guitar check, drum kit check, stay tuned.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though?
Okay, I'm reloaded. Okay, I'm reloaded.
Welcome back to another episode. Me Influence Podcast. I'm your host, Mean Meech, and I'm back at you with some more game that you can grow by. Shout out to the East Side, Theodore Street, Black Bottom, Detroit, Michigan. You already know what it is. To everybody who tuning in for the first time, thanks for watching. Hope you make it to the end. To everybody who watched some of the previous videos, welcome back. Right? So it's been a while since I recorded some content for this channel, for the podcast. Today being so-called Independence Day, I just thought I would come with a short message for the people. I'm not going to deliver a lecture or anything, but I feel like this is a much needed conversation that ought to be happening in every household, especially the so-called African American household. And it's surrounding this whole, not just the word, but the concept, everything that it stands for, surrounding this whole independent thing, this whole independent movement that's going on with the women want to be independent, and just everybody talking this independent stuff. It's been beat into our head since we was kids. You got to grow up. You got to get out your parents' household, get a job, stand on your own too, be independent. That's a bunch of BS. Independence is a farce. None of the world is moving like this. The most powerful countries are not independent. The most successful corporations, the big conglomerates, are absolutely not independent. Total independence is a liability. Young folks, don't believe the hype. Get it out of your head. If anything, interdependence is the goal. I'm not promoting dependence at all in any shape or form whatsoever. But dependence, strategic dependence, becomes mutual dependence, which is another term for interdependence. Look that up. Dependence, I'm not saying pursue that. Do not intentionally make yourself dependent on anyone or any entity. But being 100% independent makes you a target, especially when your competitors who are actively trying to take you out are working together against you. And you over here with this lone wolf, American bravado, macho, I'm independent. I take over the world type of thinking. And all it's doing is slowing you down. It's making you an easy target. This is how they picking us off. This is how they always picked us off. They say, kill the head and kill the body. Cut off the head and kill the body. So that's what they do. When anybody starts to puff up, starts to become influential, start to look like he the next one, then they take him out. And they easily disrupt the movement towards forward progress. Because we were so busy suspicious and watching each other and figuring, I'm going to do this all by myself. In pursuit of this whole, I don't want to join forces with other like-minded individuals. I'm going to do this totally independently. And it's been hurting us. So get away from this independent stuff. Seek like-minded individuals who are trying to accomplish some of the same stuff that you're trying to accomplish, and figure out ways that y'all can mutually benefit each other. Now, I'm not saying I simply help you do what you're trying to do, and once you're successful, you in turn help me do what I'm trying to do, and then we're going to both be successful. That don't necessarily work either. 9 times out of 10, when you help somebody be successful, they're going to forget where they came from. Unless it's a special type of relationship, they not, or even if they do double back and help you, they definitely not going to help you to the same extent that you helped them. That's not interdependence. That's not mutual dependence. You can help somebody just to help them, especially if you're in position to help them, even if they're not going to double back and do anything for you, if you're just that type of person. But that does not describe mutual dependence. That does not describe interdependence. Mutual dependence is a situation where I need you to be successful at what you do in order for me to be successful at what I do. And you need me to be successful at what I do in order for you to be successful at what you do. And once we are both successful, we're going to be able to accomplish something completely separate from either of the two things we were trying to do. But we need this third external thing to be successful in order for us both to be independently successful. That's interdependence. That's mutual dependence. That's different. Independence is saying, I'm going to do my thing. I really don't need you. And I'm only going to deal with you to the extent that you got something that I need. But other than that, I'm going to try to completely do everything on my own. That creates enemies. That creates competitors. When you could have linked up with the individual and y'all could have been successful faster in a shorter amount of time with less effort, wasting less resources, with more efficiency. You understand what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's the way of the world. That is how everybody is doing it. When you went grade school, elementary school, middle school, you growing up, they talking this independent stuff, independent, study on your own, take a test by yourself, do everything by yourself. It's a bunch of BS. Get rid of it. So while you in the process of celebrating this so-called Independence Day, you celebrating one country gaining its independence from another country. And ironically, it happened at a time when our people was not free, was definitely totally dependent on this society. And we celebrating that, but we have not pursued our own independence. And when I'm talking independence, I'm not just talking about money. The word is normally only associated with some type of financial situation. Becoming independent, growing up, standing on your own too. But you can be independent in thought. You can be independent from habits and thinking counterproductive behaviors that has become normalized within our communities. And you usually shun or looked at as a weirdo if you don't believe in participating in this stuff. So when you break them cycles, when you break those shackles, then you become independent in your thinking as it relates to that particular issue. This can be in the political realm. This can be spiritual situation. This can relate to your diet, whatever. It could be something that your mama, your grandma always did it this way. And you could say, but it ain't working, fam. So you got to look at what's going to work in your unique individual situation. You can't look at how people raised their kids 50 years ago, or how people ate 20 years ago, or how people cooked, or how people did whatever it is that they did, because they did it within a system, within a situation that was custom for that predicament. And that's not your exact same predicament. So us continuing to try to implement this same model, continuing to study and idolize these same figures and looking at, well, this organization did it this way, or this group of people did it that way, or this family did it this way. Yeah, but you're not in that same time. You're not in that same city. You're not under that same roof. We have to do it in the way that we do it. And being independent is not the way to do it. That's what I'm telling you. The government is not doing it. The police is not doing it. These big corporations are not doing it. They all working together. And in the process of doing that, they are becoming more and more untouchable. We are starting to get past the point of no return, where it's going to be no reversing this in a minute. We're going to be locked into a permanent state of underclassmen, especially if you're talking this independent stuff. Because if you do attempt to rise up, if you do come with a brilliant hack for the system, how to get around the system, then it's going to be nothing for them to just go ahead and take you out the game or steal your ideal, steal your invention, whatever. And then once they get rid of you, they don't have to worry about another one of you rising up for another 100 years. Then they got another 100-year run because you were so busy trying to be totally independent. So while these fireworks are going off, I'm glad that the United States did gain its independence and that we're not under the rule of some other country, because ain't no telling what our situation would be. But at the same time, this is their victory. Even though we benefited, our people definitely contributed, fought, and participated in it, but it's not ours. We need to be now gain our independence from these people, from this situation, the same as they gaining independence from the people who was ruling over them. And that's my message for today. That's what I want you guys to lay down in your bed at night when you close your eyes, but before you doze off. If you watch this, I want you to think about this. And I want you to start seeking out ways to become interdependent with like-minded individuals instead of being in the mind frame of dependence where you worried about pushing everybody away. Because that's the mind frame dependence puts you in. Me. One man army, lone wolf, me against the world. But when you interdependent, have an interdependent disposition, you already trying to find out where it's at, what I got to do, how do I get in these doors, how do I get in these rooms, how do I get in these circles of individuals, what is it that I can offer to a situation to improve that situation, to then gain benefit from me improving that situation. And then the other individuals who recognize the value that I bring to the situation are now looking at ways that they can help me do whatever it is I'm trying to do. And then we both elevate. And this applies to relationships. This applies to your work situation. If you're a student, whatever it is that you got going on, if you're pursuing political power, dependent is a totally terrible strategy. According to one of the 4-day laws of power, I'm going to grab it since I have it right here. I believe it's number 18. It says, do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. That's against one of the principles of the 4-day laws of power. Don't do it. You become an island. You stick out like a sore thumb. Independence is a fairy tale. If you're a person who is about any type of strategic movement at all whatsoever, don't do it. Blend in. Learn how to use what already exists. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to always buck the system. Learn how to play the game. Otherwise, they're going to continue plucking us off one by one. And that's all I have to say for this message today. Thanks for listening. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this. Until next time, stay tuned.
Okay, I'm reloaded. Okay, I'm reloaded.